It's all about KeyBank Center today. We've got Sabres, Canadiens on deck, and it would be remiss to not get into the talk of it all. The ticket situation this last 48 hours, this last 72 hours for certain, it has been quite the roller coaster. It went from, I think I saw, 300 level tickets, 450, 500, I want to say, in the heyday of 48 hours ago to 72 hours ago. Now we're seeing that about 220, 230 slick on the secondary markets. Seems like there's been quite a downturn versus that round one.
Yeah, an interesting trend, especially going to be interesting what that means in terms of the amount of red in the arena of it all as well. But hovering around that 230 mark at the moment, I went to jump on a ticket right before the show started, and it was beat to the punch. So
what was the message?
It was, you were beat to the punch.
You were beat to the punch.
Literally, yeah. Shout out to Game Time for the flex on that one. No endorsement or anything. They just straight up let me know I was beat to the punch.
That's very fair. So Don, you, so obviously we were kind of going through this ticket situation. You split with our guy, John, and then you were originally going to split, but now you're in for the game?
Yeah, we were originally going to go, you take game one, I'll take game two. I'm now in for today and game two. We'll see from there. We don't want to look too far ahead at what happens, but I'm going to be back in my home seats, which is good. I think that's good for everybody. I'm happy about that. Pretty sure 104 is probably happy about that too. That I won't be coming back.
But love to watch you leave.
Luckily, I can wave at them because it's like almost right across from my seats on the other side.
Hey, neighbor.
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that thing where I'm standing up, be like, haha, I'm standing. No one's. But yeah, can't wait. I was just talking before the show. Had plenty of margs last night. Woke up, didn't drink coffee, didn't need it. High off the Lindy in the Sabres.
I am so high on Lindy. I cannot wait to get down to downtown Buffalo. We've got a massive afternoon and a massive evening on tap, of course. But someone having a massive evening last night. Listen, the vibes aren't stopping. And I'll be honest, I want to be upfront with you guys, okay? Sometimes when people are popular, sometimes when they're getting a lot of social media attention, I get a little jealous. I'm like, damn, wish that could be right. The Blade Gang, I'm just like, I'm a viewer. I'm in the theater seat. I'm just watching this all. A dinner at last night at Chef's with Pekka, looked like Gare and some more alumni. I think I saw Marty Baron there, Rob Ray. I mean, just what an experience. What a run these guys are on. Just call a run a run.
We are all witnesses of the greatness that is happening right before our very eyes in the form of the Blade Gang.
Yeah, I think I feel you. You might get a little jealous because with social media, people have their moment.
Comparison is the thief of joy, truly.
Yeah, but everyone says everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame. On the internet, it'll be 2 minutes, but it'll be way more fame, right? And a lot of times people disappear, and you're like, man, if we could just get the same opportunity, maybe we'd be something. But the fact that these guys aren't going anywhere, are still crushing, I'm making them yawn. I'm boring.
No, listen, I have a long day next. When we started talking about it, I'm not tired right now because we talked about the high off the Lindy. Sometimes I yawn just out of the expectation of what we have to do. We have to literally from this point, it's activado. It's 11 hours of action. It's
I wanted to take a nap today. That's not an option.
No. Nap's not an option for sure. But back to the Blade Gang of all again, probably digesting a massive meal at Chef's. And I can assume that those are the guys they grew up watching.
Great choice, by the way, the alumni to take them to Chef's, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Great choice. Obviously, for sure. Awesome there. And then speaking of Sabres choices, we got the Sabre bread done. You kind of led the charge on this.
This would go hard dipped in some chef sauce. I will say that. Also, I'm starving, and this looks really damn good, and I want to eat it so bad.
Yeah, I need our viewers to tell us what. So we're going to be bringing this to the pregame of it all. We'll be stopping at other half, but then we're going to be going down to Canal Side. Looks like the rain will be done by then, which will be good because then our bread won't get wet. We're gonna have
nothing worse than soggy bread.
Let us know what should we do. We're trying to feed the masses down at the Canal Side. Should it be cream cheese, just butter? Should I slice it in half and make a Sabre sub?
Should we get something Canadian, some Canadian cream cheese or something? I don't know.
What about some poutine?
Yeah, maybe we get something, we're feasting. We're feasting on that, smoking on the Canadian pack.
Canadian bacon maybe? Canadian bacon.
Also, it's got to be good. We got to make sure, when we're trash talking with Canadians.
Can we just confirm that is ham, by the way?
Yeah, Sam.
How do we make sure we're just trash talking the Canadians like the Montreal Canadiens and not like all of Canada? Because we don't want to lose those demos.
No, we definitely don't want to lose our good friends up north.
Here's the thing.
I saw someone say Buffalo Sabres is Canada's team tonight.
If you're up north and you're a Sabres fan, you're cool. Everyone else in Canada
can get this bread. I agree.
Everyone else can get it. That's all I got to say.
Well said. We will be running around and getting it. But if you don't want to be running around looking for an amazing food option for your party tonight, for your party Friday night, or anytime this weekend or when you're partying, hit up our good friends at Picasso's Pizza. By far the best pizza in Western New York. That magic dust hits the spot every single time. So make sure you're ordering from them every single time. Go to picassospizza.net for the best pizza in Western New York. And a reminder, on every Friday, on behalf of the YouTube chat, we're giving away a $25 Picasso's gift card, courtesy of our friends there. Speaking of the numbers game, boys, obviously, we had a little bit more recent playoff history with the Bruins, but the most recent playoff history with the Canadiens, a 4-0 sweep in 1998. This was not as easy as a 4-0 sweep looks. These were some grind games. There were a couple there where they had to kind of battle back and forth. Memory, Matt Barnaby of a hat trick on Mother's Day.
Yep.
And she was in attendance, dude. And they were cutting to her in
I do remember seeing these
cinema.
highlights.
Literally, it's pure cinema for sure.
That's unbelievable.
Definitely. And so, it's just an amazing clip. But that's just kind of how it is in the playoffs. Nothing's ever as easy as it seems like. When you look back at the stats from the Bruins series, it seems like the Sabres dominated, but those were close. Those felt like we were kind of squeezing a little bit there.
Some of the games felt like domination, but the series looks on paper and felt closer in stat sheets. But there were moments in certain games where we felt like we were running away with it on the Bruins. But you're right, when you line it up on paper, it obviously wasn't domination the whole way. There were some second periods where we struggled and started to slow down a little bit, Don.
Yeah, listen, as we saw in Game 7 with the Lightning and the Canadiens, only stat on the sheet that matters at the end is the goals.
Yeah.
You could get 9 shots and still win the game. So again, I mean, that's playoff hockey. Like you said, nothing's guaranteed. Even if you outplay a team, even if you're controlling the puck for 30, 40 minutes in the end of the game, hot goalie you could run into can squeak one out. So that's, why you got to make sure to be peppering them. And that's what I'm looking for the Sabres to do, because they're running into another hot goalie after vanquishing them.
Yeah, Dozier. Who is this guy?
No, it's
Uncle Dozier.
Let me give you
Doja
the
Cat?
pronunciation. So,
Did you see her with the
Dozier,
Met
wish your
Cala, by the way?
goalie was hot like me.
Oh,
What?
that's a good one.
It's Doesh. Dobesh. Sorry. It has just an S, but in Czech, apparently they pronounce it with a sh. Like Dobesh.
I hope that we're not getting after Dobesh as hard as we were getting after Swayman in the previous series. In the light of what I mean by that is that I hope we're putting that energy into let's go Buffalo, Sabres on the warpath. Put it into those chants. I feel like Swayman kind of thrived off those chants last series.
He did.
I don't want to let Dobesh get hot.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on. I mean, I'd like to think that even, these are professional goalies. They've been in environments like this, that it's more of it's not like you're going to throw him off his game, but it's more just to make the environment hostile and get your boys going is kind of, I view it. It just shows that, hey, fans are here. We're engaged. We're loud. If we got to sub out the Dobesh chance, we'll see if the fans can pronounce it right, because it's a little trickier than Swayman. If we got to sub that out with more Warpath chants, I'd love it. I'm glad to do that.
I had chills when the arena started the playoff game with breaking out into Warpath chants. That was so beautiful.
That was probably one of the top 5 moments of Game 1 when, what you said, 30 seconds in, Don. It was just, I mean, you were there.
Yeah. I'm expecting the same thing tonight. So, yeah.
I agree.
But public service announcement, it is Dobesh, folks. We got to get this right when we're chanting him.
To be honest, so this is the thing. Swayman doesn't have a great name to chant, though. If you went with the long doe and then a short besh, I feel like that would be a good chant.
It's way better than Swayman.
But you got to do it if he allows 3 in the first, and then you get on him and you stay in his head. You don't do it in the middle of the second when he's pitching a shutout.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do want to say, too, I wish we could do it like the college games I went to where we all knew when to go, Dobesh, you suck. At that. Yes. Or the classic, this is I've only seen in college and in junior games, but the Civ. You know the Civ chant? Never heard the Civ chant?
Well,
All
like civilian?
No, SIV. It's like I forget what it means, but get in the chat. My other
forget what it
college
means,
coach.
and you're just yelling it
It's-
out right now.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing.
All right.
Okay.
It's
But
if you know puck, you know Civ.
Okay, top chat.
It's okay. Slang term for a goalie. It implies full of holes.
is like a sieve.
it's
like
sieve, yeah.
I got you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't mind that one. I thought civilian for sure. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you someone who is no longer a civilian, Sam Carrick, number 10. He's back in the practice area and as well as Consta Helenius. We have the weapon from Rochester. The Black Ace has been called up. With that said, what are you guys expecting? you gotta get something on deck.
All I gotta say is if Carrick is in the lineup tonight, this will be me.
What about Helenius? People are saying all the way up. Helenius. So Helenius would theoretically be a Greenway swap. I mean, which is, I hate to say it, I appreciate Greenway. I appreciate the physicality. I feel like against the Canadiens, we're going to need a third and fourth line that can score.
Yeah, I mean that's more firepower for sure. His shot is crazy good from what we've seen. Yeah, that'll have my bread moving for sure.
Okay.
My bread is already moving.
We got Zach Benson saying it's hard for him to get groceries. You just got to get in the DoorDash of it. That's okay. You know, or Instacart, Instacart for sure.
Yeah, so that video, he's had to have seen the chimp AK-47 meme.
Oh yeah,
like his family definitely sent him.
Oh
that.
my gosh, that's by far, that might be the funniest playoff post so far by far. And to be honest, in the first like game and a half, he was kind of like a non-factor. Like I'm not trying to be like, you know, jerk, but then by the end, I mean, he left his like fingerprints all over that.
I mean,
series.
the one at the last game, I think, where
Yeah,
you look
it
at
was
the
the-
stat sheet and every single penalty accounted for in the game,
Was
he was
something on him.
involved with somehow or some way.
It was absolutely absurd. But Don, I know your bread moving about the Helenius and the Carrick of it all. You got some bread moving on something else?
Yeah, listen. So you Crossing Swords or Trainwreck, I don't know which, posted that the anniversary of the Stu Barnes overtime goal on Hedberg, which by the way, like, what if you watch the replays, the behind the net angle,
Hedberg was so far out. It's insane.
Can we bring back that angle first of all, where it's like behind the goalie? I feel like we never get that anymore. But he's outside the crease, so far out, challenging the shot. You see, there's nowhere to put this puck. Stu Barnes with like the quarter slapper, half slapper, perfect bar bink down over the line. Great Selly, great RJ call, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
An absolute bullet from Stu Barnes. Now, I need to educate some of our youth because I feel like a lot of people that were around for 05, 06, 06, 07 are all hyped on, like, we have these fond memories of a lot of guys like I'll say it. I'm going to pick on him a little bit because I'm going to do a little comparison. Maxim Afenaganoff. Everyone loves his overtime goal. That might not even have been his, honestly.
Sneaky Joe with the ultimate conspiracy
might have
theory
been
there.
But I need to educate you guys because Stu Barnes, we don't talk about enough when we're talking about nostalgic players. So what if I told you guys Stu Barnes was a better player than Maxim Afenaganoff?
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. What if I told you he played over 400 more games in the league and logged over 200 more points in his career as well? And obviously was a much better two-way player. Maxim Afenaganoff ending his career with a -43.
He did play on the Thrashers for a while.
He did play on the Thrashers for a
that was
couple
tough.
years.
I forgot about that.
And you might be saying, you know, Don, what about like, you know, Stu Barnes played for the Sabres longer, this and that. I think we can all agree most of the years Stu Barnes played for the Sabres, objectively less talented team.
Oh, terrible. Afenaganoff was the
the-
middle of the range guy, and Stu Barnes was the top 3 guy on every team he was on, basically.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
The teams that Finneganov were on were way sexier than
Yes.
anything
Yeah.
Stu Barnes ever was.
Yeah, Stu Barnes had a
part of.
fraction of the support. And a lot of people, too, didn't realize I think he was drafted like 4th overall or something
If
like that.
you put Stu Barnes on the third line of the 06-07 team, what's his stat line?
Exact. I mean, that's what we were talking about before. 80 points or something, and he scores 2. If we're talking playoff stats too, let me lay this out. Stu Barnes, 30 goals, 32 assists, 62 points plus 7.
How many games?
Playoff career. Let me pull that up. Okay. I didn't put the game in there for playoff.
I mean, 30 NHL goals or playoff goals. Tage has 2 in 6 games.
Yep.
Or whatever. So it ain't easy. It ain't easy to score playoff goals for a certain.
Gotta get there to be there.
Here's my favorite stat though.
Yeah.
So let's compare. You're saying too. How do we really know they played on different teams? Well, folks, they played on the same team for a quick 4 years. Right after the '99 Cup run, Afinogenov signs with the Sabres and actually played 62 games. And it goes straight into the lineup. So we have Stu Barnes in this time, 99 to 2003, and his season was cut short. This is just with the Sabres stats because he got traded to Dallas. 67 goals, 101 assists, 167 points, minus 12. So he wasn't great on 2 ways during that period. Maxim Afinogenov, 56 goals, so almost as many, but fewer. 65 assists, though. 121 points. So in that time period, Stu Barnes
20 less points.
40 plus, almost 50 less points.
All right.
So
all right.
I don't know.
If you could do insert a prime one of them in the lineup tonight, who would you choose?
Oh, Stu Barnes.
That's why
more complete.
I'm doing this.
I need a gritty. I need a gritty 2-way.
Exactly. We need the defensive aspect. We already have the snipers.
Let me just end this right here. This will be the final word. I love Afinogenov. I'm not hating on him. I just need us to put respect on my man Stu Barnes.
That's fair.
And I need the youngins for sure to know how awesome this guy was and how awesome some of his overtime goals were.
Okay.
Speaking of alumni, who do you think bangs the drum tonight?
People are saying it could be Miller. People are saying I think that with Pekka and Gare at Chef's last night, it's got to be one of those two. But then people are saying Pekka works for the Blackhawks. And I'm like, well, who cares? The Blackhawks will let you go, get recognized. The Blackhawks aren't in it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't have a dog in the fight.
So I don't know. It's a weird situation for sure. But I'll tell you what's not a weird situation, okay? And that is the Montreal Canadiens being in the postseason. Only 5 years ago, they had that magical run all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, okay? So let's have some fun.